In this video, I will take you through an introduction to sampling and what is simple random sample. We do a lot of videos on education, especially on maths and statistics. If you have not subscribed to the channel, you can consider subscribing because that will help you to receive all our videos as we update them from time to time. Let's get into the topic. Before I go into sample, I want to bring an illustration. Let's say you have a birthday party in your house and you invited these people here. They all came for your party. And then after they left the party, you decided the next day to call these people who are here. You see him here, you see this person here, you see this person here, and you see this person here. So you call these four of them. And then you ask them their feedback of how was the party. Did they have a good time? Did they like it? So you just want to know if people came to your home and they went back happy. And based on their feedback, you're going to assume whether the entire population or all the people whom you invited were happy or not, right? So this method of using a small number of people to find out what others are thinking or what's happening with others is called sampling. In simple terms, sampling is a technique where you take a few number from the population and then you study them. Based on the study from this sample, you decide or you evaluate the population. All right. This population, which is countable, is called a finite population. So whenever you have a population where you can count the number of people there, it's called a finite population. So if there is a finite population, there should be an infinite population. Yes, there is. If you have to study the stars, then you would have to choose certain number of stars from the stars in the sky. But your population here now is infinite. You have infinite number of stars. So such a population is called the infinite number of population. However, from this infinite population or finite population, you will decide to take a handful of people or a handful of samples. So that number, you will decide what would be the number of samples that you're going to take. So determination of that number is called sample size, which is very important in statistics because this sample size is going to reflect the entire nature of your population and you're going to base all your study on this sample. Now, we use different parameters, statistical parameters to study. Some of the basic ones are mean, standard deviation. So these are like central tendencies that you use to study the population. So whatever is your output from the sample, you would consider that to be the same or very close to your answer from the population. All right. Let's look at the different types of sampling. The first sampling technique is called non-random sampling. So as the name says, it's also called non-probability sampling. As the name states, let's say you want to watch a movie. And you go to the movie theater to watch a movie. And you went a little early so the previous movie has the show has just ended and the next show is about to start. So you're waiting outside and people are coming out who watch the same movie that you want to watch. So you go up to them and you ask them, how is the movie? Did you like it? So who are the people whom you would ask? Are you going to classify the entire number of people inside and decide which are the people you're going to go and choose? No, you wouldn't do that. You would just go to the first person that you see or whoever is convenient for you to talk to. So this kind of information that you take from a sample is called convenience sample. So you approach any person who you see first, who is convenient for you to reach. That sampling technique is called convenience sampling and it's a non-random sampling. The second would be probably you want to take a feedback of the movie and you're representing the the theater probably. So you would probably put a signboard and stand there with a notebook or something for people to come to you to give you a feedback. So only a few volunteers would decide to come up to you and give their response. These people might not be interested in responding. So again, your sampling technique is not based on the population's properties, but it's to your convenience, or in this case, it's a voluntary response sampling. Now then, what is random sampling? Let's look at some of the random sampling. So the first method of random sampling is simple random sampling. This is the first type in this. So in simple random sampling, your first technique would be lottery method. You all know in a lottery method, you have, let's say, 1,000 tickets in this lottery. You have to pick one from here to see who's the winner. So the method that you would use is you will shuffle all of these numbers in a huge box, and then you would take one from the box. So this is called lottery method. So let's say in this method there are 1,000 tickets inside, all right? And you open the box and the first ticket is, let's say, the third winner. So you take the third winner first from the first ticket. So you've taken the first ticket. So you can say the probability of picking any ticket from inside, which is the first ticket, is 1 over 1,000. Why? There are 1,000 tickets in there. So the probability of the first ticket that you take is 1 over 1,000. Now that you've taken the first ticket, you're left now with 999. You cannot put back the first ticket inside, because then the third winner will also become the second winner. So you leave that lottery ticket down, and now you're left with 999. So now your probability of picking the second ticket is 1 over 999. Then the probability of taking the third ticket, which is the winner, would be 1 over 998. So in a simple random sampling, if your population size is n, then the probability of the first sample is 1 over n. And the second sample probability would be 1 over n minus 1, because you already picked the first sample out of it. All right. The other technique of simple random sampling is table of random numbers. There are a table of random numbers that have been already generated and available, ready for your use. So we will look at 4 such, random number tables here. Actually, we will just see the Tippett's method, random series, but I'm just mentioning the others to you here. So there is LHC, Tippett random number series, which is available. Then you have Fisher and Yates random number series, which is also available. Kendall and Smith random number series, that's available. Rand Corporation random number series, that's also available. Now, these are random number series which have been already generated and they are existing. All you have to do is just take them and you start to use them. How do you use them? If you have a population, then you have to first number the population completely. Every person in the population should be given a certain number. And then you will use the series to pick up a number from that population. Let's see, an example. Let's say that this is our Tippett's table, okay? And the table comes like this. Now, you have a population of 6,000. Okay, and you want to choose 20 people from this population. How would you do that? You'd go into this table. The first number is less than 6,000, so you mark it in dark blue. Then you go to the next number here. This is also less than 6,000. You pick this. You skip this number because it's above 6,000. Then you skip this, you pick this. You pick this, you pick this, you pick this, you skip this, and so on. So you can see the blue highlighted ones are picked because they are less than 6,000. So that's the first type of choosing from this table. Now, if your population size is only 1,000 and you want to say select about 15 people from this population, how would you do that? Well, you can ignore the last digit. So take the first 3 digits and this will be your random number which is generated from the table. So if you're going to number the population, the 1,000 people as 1 to 1,000, you will first pick 295th person. Alright? Then similarly, ignore the last digit here. You take 664 as your second person and so on and so forth. You will go through the entire table. Now, you can also use this method if you have like only 100 people in the population and you want to choose 10. So you skip the last 2 digits and take the first 2 digits and you choose your samples. Alright. So what are the merits of such sampling technique? There is less personal bias. You're not going to decide who you're going to choose because the table is choosing the person for you. Even though you have numbered, you know who's carrying what number, you're not the one who's choosing, the table is choosing the number for you. So there's no personal bias in your sampling technique. Second, the method is very economical. It saves your time, money, and labor. Instead of using any high technique, all you have to do is just pick up the book and you start to choose the numbers from the book and you apply it onto your sampling technique. And the third is the method requires very minimum knowledge about the population in advance. So you don't have to, because the random sample generated is tested or so good that you don't have to use any method of technique to understand the population. So even if you don't have any knowledge on the population, this is a perfect method that you can use. What are the demerits? The demerits are, this requires a complete list of population, but such up-to-date list are not available in many inquiries. Yes, you cannot always number the people completely. So sometimes this is very difficult. So this is the demerit of this method. And the second is, if the size of the population is small, then it will not be a representative of the population. The size of the population sample is very small, then the method that you're using might not represent the entire population. So these are some of the demerits. Thank you for watching Math Tutorial Anand. Please like and you can comment if you have any questions, and do not forget to subscribe to get more videos like this.